this hyacinth came and invaded Lake Victoria. So we could not venture into the deep waters where we used to go. We would get stuck maybe around 2 days. The fish will get rotten, and it was not worth it anymore.
We used to have over 1,000 people along this beach every day. But this thing cannot happen nowadays due to the fact that the hyacinth has hindered the fishing business along the beach.
I think there's a great potential in working with hyacinth. It has made me be who I am.
Somewhere on the Kenyan shores of the largest freshwater lake in Africa, Lake Victoria, lies the bustling city of Kisumu, which is home to an extraordinary man who has learned to turn lemons into lemonade. But to find him, we had to whiz our way through East Africa's largest open-air market, Kibuye Market. Situated at the heart of Kisumu, it is one of the oldest markets with traders from all walks of life.
Hello. Welcome to Kisumu. Welcome to Global Crafts. My name is George Owuer, and here is where we work from. This is my workshop. All these products that you see around are made from water hyacinth. That's our main material for doing all these things. Like these are my workmates. This one is Collins Oloch, and what he's working on is a magazine rack. Thomas Otieno is working on a magazine rack. These are going to one of the hotels locally. So this is actually our shop where we normally, after the products have been finished there, most of them we display here. So you can see this is a baby coat, very nicely made, very neatly done. These are some of the magazine racks. You can see them holding some magazines. So this one is a laundry bag, a laundry basket. All these are customers' orders with their wilting collection.
George's catalogue is impressive, but our interest in him grew from his connection with a rather world-famous personality, the Kenyan Nobel laureate, Professor Wangari Maathai. Wangari fought very hard to protect the environment. When she passed on, her family ensured that her wish that no single tree would be cut to build a coffin for her was honored. George was the man to fulfill that wish.
The challenge, as I stand here today, is to restore this home for the tadpoles and give back to the children a world of beauty and wonder. Thank you very much.
Professor Wangari Maathai spent many years fighting to ensure that the natural environment in Kenya and Africa was preserved, and for that the world honored her with the Nobel Peace Prize in 2005. Sadly, she succumbed to cancer in 2011, and it is on her death that the world was introduced to one George Owuer.
Actually, I'll be much more happy to show you how the casket was made, and it is just a matter of gathering bamboo and papyrus and hyacinth, and we'll get started.
This innovative venture uses only natural raw materials. The first step is to soak the papyrus. Then measure the bamboo, which is a very durable and strong material, to make the base and lid of the coffin, depending on the body size.
I have to cut it, push it. Good.
The soaked papyrus is then used to tie the knots of both the base and the lid.
So for it to be used to tie the joints so that it doesn't break, remember it is going to carry some weight. So it has to be really firm. Then you have to tie this side also. Side also. You have to make a second frame. You have to make a second frame like this, which will be joined to this one to make a box.
The casket was a tribute to a woman who rose to international fame because of her quest to protect the environment. She made sure she was laid to rest with the most environmentally friendly products available.
Yeah. And this one has to be joined here at the base of this one.
But George never wanted to be an artisan. It's the change in the environment around him that drove him into craftsmanship.
The place where we are now is called Leunda Beach, and it is very important in my life in that here is where I was trained as a fisherman. This is the lake we would go out for fishing. I did my fishing in this lake for about 3 years. Lake was really lively when the hyacinth was not there. But when it came all of a sudden, it drastically changed our life, and it became a nightmare now.
A free-floating, broad, green leafy plant with purple flowers, the water hyacinth is among the world's most stubborn weeds, with a very fast growth rate. It is believed to have been brought to East Africa as a pot plant, but later found its way into the lake's waters.
This hyacinth came and invaded Lake Victoria, so we could not venture into the deep waters where we used to go. We would get stuck maybe around 2 days, the fish will get rotten, and it was not worth it anymore. And we sat down in a meeting and decided, what can we do? This boat is getting degraded every day. What can we do? We decided that the boat should be sold, and everybody maybe will open another business with the money that was gotten from the boat. I decided to go to town to look for a job. So as I was walking the streets of Kisumu one day, I happened to pass at a cake. I peeped through the window and saw a bunch of green things, which when I was allowed in, I came to realize that they were the same hyacinth that drove me out of fishing. By the time I was looking for a job, I was not choosing any job. I was just looking for any job that I could try, and if it fits me, I could just land into that. And it happened that the first job that I met was this one of hyacinth, and actually I fitted just directly without any problem.
The presence of water hyacinth in Lake Victoria dates back to 1989, but the first major outbreak was in 1998. Covering an estimated 20,000 hectares of the lake. We got George to take us to where he harvests this weed, only to discover the beach rather sparse. Here they are still groping with the environmental changes. But we decided to check further afield to see what was happening. What seemed to be a busy market is not what it used to be in days gone by.
This is Sangorota Beach. These are the mothers who are fishmongers and the fishermen around. We used to have over 1,000 people along this beach every day. But this thing cannot happen nowadays due to the fact that the hyacinth has hindered the fishing business along the beach. We used to have over 100 boats at this beach, and at this moment we only have less than 20 boats. The demand of fish is now too high due to the fact that the supply is too low, because the hyacinth is also hindering the other fish nets which are being left over the night.
But the adverse effect of hyacinth is not only felt by the fishermen, but also by boat builders and net weavers.
osekonya e yore ka duto matimo, osemiya gedo. To chon waloso yedhi 4 bang' dwe achiel kaluwore kaka ne wan ji 2. To tich odok chien kaluwore gi Ford mokwongo namo, nikech onge kaka ji nyalo lupo luwore gi ni ogeng'o nam. Nikech lupo ka samoro pod odaro ji kae, ji odhi komachielo kocha, inyal tiyo nikech gino ogeng'o nam, koro miyo tich dok piny. Koro tamo ji kaka ji lupi, koro mondo mi ji olos yie, onge kaka ji nyalo loso yie kaluwore gi koro yedhi topo mana i togo.
So we got George to take us into the lake to see for ourselves how this weed behaves.
For now, we are going through the hyacinth due to the fact that the wind is still blowing and this thing is moving. Physically, if you look at it, for now you can't see how it is flowing, but it's going in a slow way. And when it's not flowing, we cannot pass. Any boat cannot go through. If we stay inside here for 2 hours, it will be very much difficult for us to make it back to the beach where we've come from, due to the fact that it will get together.
The hyacinth, locally it is called Ford. This was named in 1992 when the original Ford, that's the Forum for the Restoration of Democracy, was also shook in Kenya in as far as politics is concerned. Where we are now, these ladies are doing harvesting. Actually, hyacinth harvesting, you don't have to go with a boat like these mamas. They have not come with any boat. They have just come walking to a certain level of depth where they can get a good hyacinth. Hyacinth is not a curse. I think to us we call it green gold to this end. It is a green gold to us. When the hyacinth has migrated to a far-off place, they have to hire the boats, the fishermen's boats, and go and look for that hyacinth, which also will increase the price, and sometimes you find people complain that our products are quite high.
You know, many people normally say that hyacinth is very bad. Always, everything which has a demerit must have a disadvantage, an advantage. The benefit is that we also get a certain unique fish. It is very unique in that a mature fish is like this one now. To some people, they can say it is undersized, but to this specific type of fish, it is an adult. So we use it as a bait to trap big fish like the Nile perch, which normally takes place in deep lakes, like the other side of the Mikuru. They are being taken even up to Uganda. So this type of fish cannot be found if hyacinth is not here. It's only under the hyacinth. They survive at the roots of hyacinth, like this one now. These roots, this type of fish survives here. So this is another help that we are getting, the surrounding is getting from hyacinth.
In the early 1990s, the number of fish that were caught went down due to the presence of the water hyacinth. But it is said that certain fish species had reappeared, and this was also attributed to the presence of the hyacinth.
This is now we have reached to the chairlady's home, and this is where most of the members come to actually do the hyacinth processing and prop twisting. After harvesting, the hyacinth is brought to the home of the chairlady, where it is the process of splitting is taking place. So we take it from the manilas or the gunias that we have, we bring it down like this, we put it here. After spreading them on the ground like this, depending on the size of the hyacinth and the rope you want to make. If you want to make a thick rope and the hyacinth is thick like this, you take it like this and you split it into 4. Also a point to note here is that hyacinth should be split when they are still very fresh, because if they take on heat, they start to wilt, and splitting becomes a headache, becomes a long process.
Yes, in hyacinth processing, this is the third step, and this is spreading. This is the third step. So after being spread here on sun, it takes 4 hours for drying. So after just dried, we take it for treatment.
So this is the dry fiber. You measure 5 kilograms of the dry fiber like this. Then you dip it into 10 liters of water, and this water should be a solution of sodium metabisulfite. So sodium metabisulfite, you measure 1 teaspoonful. You put into the 10 liters of water, and you stir. After that, you put your 5 kilograms of the dry fiber into the solution like this. So you have to turn it around so that all the fiber gets to absorb most of the chemical. So this chemical helps in a number of ways. First of all, it removes the green nature of the fiber. It prevents it from insects so that insects cannot eat it, and also from rotting. Then after this, you have to put a stone so that it presses it. It is completely submerged in the water for about 45 to 1 hour. Then you have to rinse it in the clean water, and then you dry it in under the shade. So this is the dry and treated fiber. Then after this stage, now it is ready for ropes to be made. The ropes can be made into grade A, grade B, grade C, and grade D, like the ladies are doing under the tree there.
Lekech tich matiyo ni. Koro tija matiyo ni achake higa mar 2000. Mwasebedo ka wachake tiye kendo pod watiye nyaka sani. Ber mwaneno kuome en ni wanyalo chiemo ka ok wan mon makwiche makwa nyaka chwore kibrit. Koro anyalo kelo kibrit e ot ka wuon nyithindo ok ong'iewo, anyalo kelo sukari ka wuon nyithindo ok okelo. Koro wadhi maber. Ok anyal kawo tong' gwenda nadhi ng'iewo nikech aloso gini. Ok anyal mako gwenda nadhi ng'iewo nikech aloso gini.
To osebedo kokonya mang'eny ahinya. Atiyo kode kaka mineni, en emoka, kata kadhi e kanisa na kuto en mochulo gi Nyasaye, ok anyal dhi kwa ng'ato gimoro. To en emokonya. Koro miyo ahere makata kawo mana lop kadhi sirora kama entie, to ni nyaka gole oko mondo mi anene. Kwa tudore kod osiepnani. Koro wasetiye ka wan gi chuny achiel.
Meanwhile, back at the workshop, George has made progress. The coffin's natural appearance is incredible. It's far from the normal traditional coffins.
This casket is now in advanced stage in that we are almost finishing the base part of it. This casket is made with grade D because it is going to bear weight, so we have to use very thick and tough rope. And also we use papyrus to make the bases for weaving, because papyrus is also a very tough material, and it is locally, they are almost sisters because they are found growing in the same area as hyacinth. So we make the base using papyrus. And as you can see, the base that is going to carry the weight, we have used 4 strands of papyrus. That's down here. Look at down here. These strands are 4. Every line has 4. Unlike the sides, which has only 2, this side is not going to bear any weight. So this place, we have used 4 strands of papyrus at each line. How did we come to make the Nobel Peace Prize winners casket? Actually, this one came about when we were doing a training in Siaya. I first got a call from Kick's manager if I could make a certain box. So I said I could do it. Isaac happened to introduce me to one of the Wangari Maathai's daughters, who actually we had a lengthy talk. And this is the time when I realized that I was the one going to make the Nobel Peace winners casket.
George belongs to a pool of artisans working under the Kick umbrella company.
KIC is called Kisumu Innovation Center Kenya, and KIC as an organization started as an NGO way back in 1993, but the KIC that right now is exists as a company that was started in 2005. Now KIC's objective is first to use available resources in the environment to create jobs and also to clean the environment in the process. So we looked for ways of harnessing the water hyacinth and taking it to make such seeds, taking it to make paper, and KIC looks at what else can we do so that this particular menace in the society can be turned around so that it becomes something like an opportunity for the whole society. This is a butterfly mobile, but this will come out as a fish mobile, and this tin is waste. We just pick the tin from the streets and then give it a nice picture, a nice painting, and then from the painting you can use it as a Christmas decoration or something that is beautiful. Remember the scratch card, you can usually scratch and load airtime onto your phone. Now this is what you can make with it. We have that is from Airtel, that is from Orange, and that is from Safaricom. So as a philosophy, George Owuer and other artisans in KIC, we ensure that we can use anything that can be wasted from the environment into something that can create jobs. And this is a very nice example of job creation. George has been able to demonstrate that you do not need to be a master's holder or a PhD holder in order to do something worthwhile to the society. With him, we have been able to do a lot of training. We have been able to impact in a lot of market. We have been able to sell a lot of products because of what he brings, the ideas he generates for us. So I look at him as a special resource for our organization.
Here we came for a workshop. We were invited by KIC, but because KIC happened to have won an award, that's an initiative of the UNDP.
Well, the SEED initiative did an advertisement in July last year, and this award had two categories. Our category was on sustainability and innovation. We managed to be among the 35 winners worldwide. This award is not about KIC. It is about the artisans in KIC. It is about the small initiatives that the artisans are bringing in. For example, in the award you have to cite what you're actually doing about the environment. And that is when people like George come in, when we say, okay, George goes to the lake to remove the water hyacinth and makes it into a pulp to make paper, or makes it into strands to make rope, to weave the chairs which later go to the hotels. You have to make a connection of how are you impacting from the environment. Now these artisans, in their small initiatives, they are actually ensuring that KIC does what he's doing. And I'm happy that we are now recognized by a UN body, which means that our initiative is actually, even though it is a small one, it is being recognized by people out there.
I think there's a great potential in working with hyacinth, and from my 12 years experience, it has made me be who I am. I have a wife and 2 children. When I come home, my 2 little kids are very happy to see me and to be with the mom for some time, and we are just happy when we are together. Hey, Moza, Unade. Yeah, this is my mom. Her name is Mary Owuer, and this is her house where she lives. And I'm the second son of her, and we're just happy to be with her today, this morning.
I met George through a friend of mine. She had a catalog for seats and magazine racks. We looked at the catalogs. I loved them. I picked one wall, a corner unit, and some seats that George made for me. When people see my seats, they want them. You know, the furniture is relaxing. I like the ambience that it gives to my house. The fact that it's natural, you know, it's hyacinth, and the fact that you take something that seems to be bad. You know, the society sees the hyacinth as a bad thing to the lake, but it's been turned into something beautiful. So this is bringing people to realize that there are other ways that you can use hyacinth, you know, and let the earth be green. You know, which I think is a great thing for George.
When we met George through a friend, we went to a friend's house where we saw the chairs and we asked her where she made them, and then he introduced us to George. If you look at some of them have very small stitches that look really beautiful. I really feel proud that I am associated to somebody who has done great things in the society and even in the environment.
I'm seeing myself going rich. I also see myself educating my family, building a good home somewhere, and I'll just be a happy person in future. I was so much surprised. There's a simple man like George could be called to make for such a big person's casket. So I was so much, and I didn't believe it. I didn't know that even it was going to be. I was going to realize what was before me. The family, especially the eldest daughter and the two sons, were really extremely happy. People thought that when the Nobel Peace winner died, the casket will be brought in, will be shipped maybe from America, from Europe, maybe it was going to be a golden casket. But here was just people from Kisumu that also traveled with public means to Nairobi and actually made the casket using locally available material, which are also environmental friendly, and the casket was made just at her home.
The site where we are standing today to pay tribute to her is called Freedom Corner, mainly because of her efforts. This place was not named Freedom Corner without a lot of effort.
The challenge, as I stand here today, is to restore this home for the tadpoles and give back to the children a world of beauty and wonder. Thank you very much.
I think again,
And that's how George Owuer turns lemon into lemonade.